Granny, what's missing?
I knowed I should have kept it under lock and key. Letting it lay out there in the open like that was too much temptation.
Well, what's missing, Granny?
They didn't even touch the silver. Headed right for the valuables. Over 50 bars of my homemade light soap.
Granny, good as it is, I don't know nobody who'd risk jail to steal your soap.
Just name any movie star. Why, they'd do worse than that. To get my skincare beauty secret?
My soap?
Of course. Ellie, tell your pa why my skin looks the way it does today.
I suppose it's because you've been out in the sun and the wind too long.
Who asked you?
You did, Granny.
Ellie, you seen any strangers prowling around Granny's lye soap?
Or movie stars?
No, but Jethro toted it all out of there. Maybe he's seen somebody.
What?
Jethro took it?
Yes, sir. He says for his nude business, there ain't no soap can touch it.
All right, Bessie, we's all set for my grand opening. You ready to take off with my advertising campaign? What do you mean, no? All you gotta do is float up a couple 1,000 feet and toss out these handbills.
Jethro!
Howdy, Jet. I was gonna wait till I had my first customer before I called you, but what do you think of my new car wash?
What? Sometimes you act like you got grits for brain. You know how many of these places there already is in Beverly Hills?
Not like mine. This is the only one in the whole world that'll wash your car in just 5 seconds.
It is.
Yeah, that's because I'm the only fella that's smart enough to think of dunking them.
Dunking them?
It gets the car spanking clean, top and bottom. It's my own invention. You see, I just put the car in them chains over yonder and hoist it up with them ropes. It's hooked up to this block and tackle at either end. Then I just haul the car out over the water and slack it off and drop it in. Then I just slush it around a little bit and lift it out over to this side and let it drip dry. How about that? And what's more, for 10 cents extra, I clean the whole inside of the car, too. I just leave the windows open. What's the matter? I forget something?
For one thing, the shingle you're gonna need for your pants when Granny finds out what happened to her soap.
Oh, wait, that's the secret to this whole operation. You see, even in cold water, Granny's lye soap cuts grease just like that.
Boy.
Of course, it is kind of tough on car paint, too, but I don't care much about repeat business.
You got 24 hours to drain this pond, pull down them ropes, and get this place back to normal.
Oh, come on, Uncle Jed. I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna set this world on fire.
You're gonna clean up, all right. Everything. Or you're gonna end up with a seat of your britches on fire.
Well, if it ain't the king of the car washing.
Oh, yeah? If I'd have got my handbills out when I wanted to, I'd have been turning the customers away now. It's all that dad-blame Bess's fault.
What do you mean it's Bess's fault?
That monkey ain't nothing but a big, hairy chicken.
Where's that soap filter, Jethro?
Now, calm down, Granny. I've already got to the bottom of the trouble.
That's what I want to do. Where is he?
I'll help you make some more soap, but you won't need them hickory hide heaters.
It's the young'uns that need 'em, and the woodshed. Then we'd see how much mischief they could get into.
Now, Granny. I think it's more like they got too much time on their hands. I might go down and see can Mr. Drysdale find something for me.
You're wasting your wind. The couple of times you did put 'em to work, they were back home the same day.
I know.
I figure betwixt Ellie's secretarying and Jethro's ciphering, they made the other workers look sluggish.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway. You remember my nephew and namesake, little Milburn Drysdale?
How do you do, Miss Hathaway?
Hello, Milby.
His parents asked me to keep an eye on him for a few hours while they're gone.
Where have they gone?
Europe.
Oh, Chief.
Oh, I'm just taking care of him for the day. Tomorrow he starts boarding school. Milby, why don't you go in my office and play? I'll be right in.
Yes, sir, Uncle Milburn.
Oh, he's a fine youngster. A Credit to the Drysdale family.
Chief, how did you get stuck with keeping that miserly little monster again?
Just a minute, Miss Hathaway. Last year, when you took care of Milby, he was just going through a transition phase.
I know, like the wolf man.
Come on now, he's a fine lad.
He is a grasping, avaricious, crafty, conniving little money grubber.
Yes, everyone says he reminds them of me as a boy.
At the age of 6, when other little kiddies were playing hide and seek, Milby had started his first business.
So every kid has a lemonade stand?
Milburn opened a pawn shop. He needs other interests. He needs to go places and do things with someone he looks up to. So someone big and tall and strong.
I agree. You can have them all day.
Never again.
But I can't get away. You've got to take care of them.
Not even if you give me a whip and a chair.
Well...
Oh, hello, Uncle Milby. I hope you don't mind my borrowing this book from your desk.
Oh, not at all, my boy. Ah, a sympathetic look at Ebenezer Scrooge. That's one of my favorites. Now, what would you like to do today?
Well, a real fun thing is making money. I've got my eye on some property in the valley.
I see. Well, how are you going to earn all that money?
I could start by betting you $5 that in 30 seconds your face will turn blue. Okay?
All right. I'll take that wager, but just to give you a lesson in gambling. Never bet except on a sure thing.
I don't. Remember, you taught me that last year.
Blue? Sure. Well, little Milby, you certainly got the best of me that time. What would you like to do now?
I'd like to collect my $5. And then I'd like to do what we did last year. You know, run barefoot around the vault.
I'd like that too, my boy, but I'm very busy today.
Mr. Clampett is here to see you.
Mr. Clampetts, a very important man. Milburn, please stop crying for Uncle Milburn. Mr. Clampetts, my favorite depositor. He's got $70 million.
Something wrong in here?
How do you do, Mr. Clampett? My name is Milburn Drysdale.
Now, Mr. Clampett, as I understand it, you're worried Jethro and Ellie may have too much time on their hands.
Yeah, well, you see, there just ain't enough work on the place. Even with all the chores Granny and me can think up, they still got a good hour a day with nothing to do.
Water, Mr. Clampett?
Oh, no thanks, son.
Coffee? Tea? Milk?
No thanks.
He's a fine boy. He has a great career ahead of him.
Yeah, he's already a pretty good waiter.
Pillow for your head?
Oh, no thanks.
That's fine, Milby. Now, why don't you sit on the sofa and read, huh?
Oh, it's all right. I have my bank book.
Well, now, getting back to the young'uns. Ellie is kind of a problem. You see, once you toss out secretary...
Yes, let's toss that out.
And when you come to Jethro, there's... say, you don't know anybody that needs a professional eater, do you?
No, but don't worry. I'll come up with something to suit his talents and education.
Good. Well, he said he'll take anything at all, as long as it's a executive job.
All right. Well, you'll have to give me a little time. We're pretty swamped here today. I'll even have to find somebody to take care of Milby for me.
Well, why couldn't he spend the day over at my place?
Please, Uncle Milburn. Please, if you can.
I think it'll be all right.
Yippee! Thank you, Uncle Milburn.
And you'll be giving Ellie a job at the same time. She'll be your babysitter. She's waiting outside. I'll go fetch her in.
Did you say a babysitter? For me?
Yeah, here she is now.
But I'm 11 years old. Of course, I'm very insecure.
Ellie, you got a job. You're going to babysit little Milby there.
Howdy, Milby. You're the first human being I ever babysat for. I am? Yeah, but I ain't worried, because I'll just pretend you's an oversized mookie. Let's go, Milby.
Well, there you are, Milby. Make yourself to home.
Boy, would I love to go into the escrow on a place like this.
Sorry to disappoint you, Milby. It's got 32 rooms and 14 baths, but I don't think it's got escrow.
What's the matter, Jethro?
I'm mad. Before I even got it going, I had to shut down my 5-second car wash.
A 5-second car wash? Why, you could make a fortune.
Yeah, I know. Say, for a little kid, Milby, you're pretty smart.
Business is my middle name.
Hey, how much schooling you had?
I finished the 6th grade.
Hey, I should have known. You can always pick out the fellers with the higher education.
Granny! I wonder where she is.
I don't know. You try the kitchen, I'll look upstairs.
Okay.
Granny!
All right, I'm coming. Where is the little tyke?
Hey, what you got there? What is all this?
Everything for the little young'un that Ellie Mae is babysitting with. I got blankets and bottles and diapers.
I reckon I didn't make myself too clear on the phone, and, you know, the baby we brung home is 11.
Well, 11-month-old baby will still need a lot of care. I can hardly wait to hold the infant in my arms again. Where is the little bundle?
Well, Milby is out with Jethro.
You left him out there with that big clock. Jethro, carry in little Milby and be very careful with him.
Hey, little Milby is a big boy.
Here he is.
Hi. He is big for 11 months, ain't he? Almost as big as Jethro was at that age. Wait a minute. You ain't no little baby.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, Granny. Milby's 11 years old.
How do you do, Granny? My name is Milburn Drysdale.
You're named after Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, not quite, Granny. Milby's middle name is Business.
Milby Business Drysdale. That's a real high tone.
Come on out to the kitchen, have some milk and a piece of pie.
I wonder if I could have Jethro show me around the house first.
Well, all right. When you're through, come on out.
Hey, Milby, you mean you was turning down a piece of pie for a look around the house? I thought you was an educated man.
Look at this.
Well, what about it? Just an old vase.
It's a Ming vase.
Oh, it's for flowers.
Jethro, Ming is a famous Chinese dynasty.
Well, maybe so. But they's out of business by now. Mr. Drysdale says that vase is a couple thousand years old.
I'll give you $1 for it.
$1 for a couple thousand-year-old vase? I can't slicker you like that.
Then sell it to me for 50 cents.
Well, okay, sucker. Don't say I didn't warn you.
What was you heating all this milk for?
Well, I was expecting little Milky to be a tiny infant. And Jethro used to drink that much for his evening bottle.
Yeah, but you got to remember, even as a baby, Jethro had a mighty unusual hunger.
Yeah, there ain't many 3-day-old babies that can tie into a side of bacon like he does.
Especially when it was still attached to the hog. Seems like ever since, his body and his appetite have been trying to see which could get the biggest.
Yeah, too bad his brains didn't enter the race.
I believe it's Gainsborough.
I don't know his name, but he sure dresses funny.
I'd like to buy it, too.
Gee, Milby, you already bought an awful lot of stuff.
I told you, I'll give you a check when we get everything totaled up.
Okay. Gee, I can't help feeling I'm taking advantage of a little kid. I mean, you've given us $5 for this thing, and don't even give off decent lies.
I'm buying it for a friend. He likes old junk and doesn't care what he spends.
Okay, then watch out, because I'm really taking you to the cleaners.
Well, I'll give you $5 for the Gainsborough.
10.
$7.50.
Sold. Hot dog. Is my Uncle Jed going to be proud of me?
Here, sign the receipt.
I can't wait to tell him.
Why don't you wait until you can show him the check?
Okay. When he sees what a business genius I am, he'll let me run a 5-second car wash for sure.
Yeah, I want to see that. Will you show me how it works?
Right away. I'll flag down the first car I see and be ready for you in 5 minutes.
I'll be in the mortgage department. There may be a foreclosure.
I hate to interrupt your fun, but don't you think you should pick up Milby at the Clampetts?
Why? He's probably having the time of his life.
I don't doubt it, being just one bootlick away from $70 million.
I'll pick him up this evening. Now lay off. He's just a normal, high-spirited youngster.
Is it normal to be kicked out of 3 military schools in 1 year?
It happens.
For usury?
I don't care what the law says. 80% interest on a loan is not unreasonable.
I give up. Apparently, Milby is more important to you than the Clampett account.
That's your truck down there?
Yeah. Them bubbles is on account of the engine still running.
What happened?
Well, I couldn't get no cars to turn in the driveway, so I used the truck. Got it out yonder, and the ropes broke.
And this was your 5-second car wash?
Yeah. There is a few kinks in it yet. Oh, gone. The engine just died.
Gee, I was counting on you hauling away the things I bought with that truck.
Oh, I'll get it out. Well, I'm sure glad I drove such a hard bargain selling all that stuff to you. At least I'll be able to show my Uncle Jed I've done something right.
But remember, you won't show him until I'm gone. You have the check, right?
Hey, how does a little kid like you get all your money anyhow?
I use my head. For instance, this morning, I got $5 out of my Uncle Milburn. Nothing to it.
How'd you do that?
Cost you 50 cents to find out.
50 cents? For a way to get $5? It's a deal. Pigeon, I mean, partner. Hey, Uncle Jed, Granny, I just found out the best way to make $5 you ever heard of.
Well, what is it?
I'll show you. I'll bet you $5 that in 30 seconds, your face is going to turn blue.
Jethro, I ain't a gambling man.
Go on, Jed. It's a sure thing.
All right, I'll bet you.
Okay, here we go.
All over my kitchen. How dare you come in here and make a mess like this, you big flannel brain!
Hey, now, wait a minute, Granny. I didn't
Hey, you big cabbage head!
Granny! Jethro, I told you to stay out of trouble while Milby was here. What have you been up to now?
Well, do you want to hear the good or the bad news first?
I got a feeling either way I'm going to need my switches.
No, you come on right over here and sit down. Well, reckon we might as well get the bad news out of the way first.
Well, it ain't that awful. It's just that I dropped the truck in the cement pond.
Where's the switches?
Stay right there, Granny. I'll fetch him.
Hey, now, hold on. Wait till you hear the good news. Oh, you'll forget all about the bad.
All right, start them jaws a-hopping fast.
Yeah, well, you know how this house is full of bric-a-brac and junk and paintings and stuff? Most of it hundreds of years old and just cluttering up the place? Well, I unloaded almost a half a ton of it on that little Milby.
You what?
And he's not only taking it off our hands, he's paying almost $200 for it. How about that? Look at there. The good news just knocked her right over. Reckon I don't get no switching now, huh, Uncle Jed?
Not for the bad news, no, but you're going to get a first-class rump roasting for the good.
Hi, Uncle Milburn. Miss Hathaway. I'm glad you're here.
What's going on here? What is this?
I bought it for us. Every piece of fabulous antique. All I need is your check to pay for it. Partner?
What are you talking about?
You're gonna be proud of me. I conned it out of these hillbilly hicks for less than $200.
It's worth 1,000 times that.
I know. We'll sell it and make a fortune.
Yes. Yes, we'll get rich. Drysdale and Drysdale. Antiques. What? Oh, yes, of course. Get Mr. Clampett. Now, we'll see if you really bought this stuff.
I've got signed receipts from Simple Simon. You know Jethro?
Why, you little monster, you probably cost my biggest account.
Now, don't get excited, Uncle Milburn. How much do you want to forget the whole thing?
This is something you've been needing all your life, and you're not buying your way out of it.
It's gonna hurt you more than it does me.
Don't count on it.
He sure cleaned out the place, didn't he?
I'm just glad we arrived before Milby resold everything.
If the little fellow wanted it that bad, he should have asked. We'd probably give him most of the stuff.
It's Jethro's fault taking advantage of a sweet little fellow like that.
By the way, where's Jethro?
He's out back trying to get the truck out of the cement pond. What's going on?
disciplining my nephew, Mr. Clampett. I'll be right back and make amends for all this. Get in, Miss Hathaway.
You must have spanked him good. We could hear him yelling clean inside.
That's not what he was yelling about. He's used to spankings. I got him where it really hurts.
What you mean?
I took his money belt.
Oh, I forgot. You ain't. You're a pretty thing. Right in the corner where you are. Right in the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor, you may guide across the bar. Right in the corner where you are. Oh, just what I need from a root cellar. This'll make a dandy shelf. The good Lord provides for the purest heart. Bringing in the sheep, bringing in the sheep. You will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheep.
Stop, thief!
Were you talking to me, Miss Drysdale?
You know very well I am. And I should have known that you were the thief who's been stealing my lumber.
Now, hold on. I found this board right there at the foot of the steps on my own property.
You're not only a thief, you're a liar.
Now, that ain't a nice thing to call your next-door neighbor, especially on such a pretty day.
It hasn't been a pretty day since you became my next-door neighbor. You peasant.
I hope you're writing all this down. Sister Drysdale, you done reviled and persecuted me, but I forgive you 70 times 7. And though you covet what's rightfully mine, I give it to you with a glad heart. Because a kind deed turneth away wrath, and pride goeth before a fall. And her that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. For it is written, them that sows the wind will reap the whirlwind. But him that pours the milk of human kindness into the churn of life...
Oh, shut up, but give me my lumber.
There it is, Paul.
Oh, so you've been cooking again, have you?
Yes, sir. Special just for you.
Well, would you look at that? It's a long time since I've seen one of these. Yes, sir, that's a dandy. What is it?
Well, it's a sponge cake. And there's a glass of milk to dunk it in.
Well, doggy, it's a sponge cake. Why, it's light as a feather. I bet you that rascal will really sop up the milk.
Well, it ought to. I put 4 sponges in it. Granny, what happened? Did you fall in the pond?
I got knocked in the pond.
Ellie, go fetch your granny a blanket.
Fetch my shotgun.
What's for?
For that big, fat, ornery daughter of Beelzebub next door.
Now, Granny, you promised me no more scrapping. You promised me to abide in peace with Sister Drysdale.
Please tell him what happened. Give him the sign.
Suppose you tell me.
Here you are, Granny.
I said fetch my shotgun. We're feuding with the Drysdales right down to the last man.
Go get Jethro.
I don't care if it was an accident. Now, you go over there and apologize to Granny.
Apologize? I should call the police and demand an arrest.
I'm not asking you to go to jail. Just apologize.
Her arrest. She stole my lumber. When are you going to stop siding with those hillbillies against me?
when you deposit $67 million in my bank.
That's only money. I'm your wife, your mate. For 27 years, I've shared your bed and board.
Please, not while I'm eating. Oh, now, Margaret. This whole thing is just a tempest in a teapot. Let Granny have the wood. What's a few lousy pieces of lumber?
They happen to be specially cut redwood planks to frame in my new dahlia beds. I'm determined to win first prize this year.
Okay. But promise, no more fighting with Granny.
All right, if she leaves me alone, I'll leave her alone.
Fair enough. Well, good luck with your dahlia, dear.
Oh, I'm not depending on luck. I've engaged an expert to help me.
Fine, I hope he's just great.
He should be. He charges $100 a day.
$100 a day?
Yeah, he's an expert.
Yeah, so is Jesse James.
Jethro, you seen your granny around?
No, sir, Uncle Jed. Hey, is there any more of that cake around?
Any more? Did you eat the one that was here?
Oh, yes, sir.
How was it?
Good, but springy. When I bit into it, it kind of fought back. Funny thing about that cake, it was light as a feather going down, but the more milk I drink, the heavier it sits. I think some of the threads from the flour sack got into it, too.
On your feet, men. We're marching into battle against the Drysdale.
Hot dog!
Wait a minute, come here. All right, come on. Stand back, Granny.
All right, there. But I ain't surrendering my sword. It was my grandpappy.
Okay.
Well, Paul ain't gonna feud to Drysdale?
No, Ellie, we ain't.
Oh, shucks, Uncle Jed. We was just going to capture him and fetch him back here.
Now, why would we want to do that?
Have you seen their new upstairs maid?
Now, listen, all of you. I know that Granny and Mrs. Drysdale has had a little run-in.
Running? Why, I was mean-mouthed, board-whomped, and pond-ducked. I called her sister. She called me thief and liar. I cast my bread upon the waters, and she throwed me in after it.
Let's go feud.
Yeah!
Well, hold on.
Jed, we would have feuded for much less back in the hills.
We ain't back in the hills. You gotta remember that city folks like Mrs. Drysdale is much more loose with their talk.
And somebody ought to button her lip.
Granny, it just could be that she's powerful sorry for what she said.
Then why don't she come over and apologize?
How about letting her send her maid?
You hush up.
We all know what a prideful woman she is. So, Granny, why don't you meet her halfway?
No, I won't.
It'd put a star in your crown.
Nothing do.
Granny, I know how much you like hymn singing. Now, why don't you let a hymn of happiness drive the hate from your heart?
No.
I know a dandy, one of your favorites. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got a joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Sing it, sister.
I got a joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
$10 a piece for dahlia bulbs?
Darling, these are new and original varieties. We're going to put a different variety in each bed.
At these prices, we should put them in my vault.
I'm to have the honor of naming them.
Oh, how exciting.
Isn't it? I've decided to name one for Daddy, one for Sonny, one for myself, and the fourth for the wonderful man that made all this possible.
Oh, really?
Yes, Mr. Ted.
Excuse me, Chief, you're wanted on the telephone.
Now, since I'm paying Mr. Wonderful $100 a day, suppose you get him busy.
We're ready for the groundbreaking ceremonies, Mr. Ted.
Groundbreaking. I'm the one he's breaking.
Mrs. Drysdale, I'm terribly sorry, but my shovel has disappeared.
Well, that's strange. It was right there beside those redwood planks. Wait a minute. I think I know where it might be.
Mr. Drysdale, I'm coming to meet you halfway. My heart is full of love and forgiveness. Ah, that Jethro. Always leaving tools strewn about. But I ain't gonna let it upset me. 'Cause I got joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. 'Cause I got...
Stop, thief!
Well, Sister Drysdale, come to apologize, ain't you? You sorry you called me a thief?
Yes, you're no thief. You're a kleptomaniac.
Well, that's better. Now, let's join our voices in a hymn of happiness. Oh, we got joy, joy,
Give me
joy.
that shovel.
Now, wait a minute. Is it yours?
No, but I want it. Give it to me.
Oh, please, sister. Don't lust after my shovel. Let our song drive the demon of greed from your heart. Oh, we got joy, joy.
Give me that.
Please, sister, it'll purify your soul. Oh, we got joy.
Granny's coming?
Did you meet Miss Drysdale?
Oh, yes, sir, down by the cement pile.
It was a
Miss
song
Drysdale-
that done it. Let's sing her welcome, youngsters.
Let's go.
She's got the joy, 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 joy down in her heart. Down in her heart. Down in her heart. She's got the joy, joy, joy.
I tell you, Milburn, that little woman is a kleptomaniac. This time she tried to steal Mr. Ted's shovel.
With what I'm paying him, he can afford a new one.
All you ever think of is money. Can't you understand that compared to the social graces, money is nothing?
You could be committed for a statement like that.
Hello? Oh, Mr. Clampetts. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, but I'm kind of worried about your wife.
Well, frankly, so am I. You did what? Threw Granny in a cement pond.
Yes, sir, and I'm afraid she's going to dry out real mean. She's about to swap her olive branch for a shotgun.
I'll see that Margaret apologizes.
I'll die first.
Granny might arrange that.
Of course, her gun's only loaded with rock salt and bacon rind, but that'll raise right smart of a well.
Well, I'll warn Margaret.
I'm not afraid of that little hillbilly hoodlum.
Mr. Drysdale, I think I hear Granny coming. I'll do what I can to head her off, but I'm afraid the fat's in the fire. Bye.
Well, Fats, you're in the fire.
Milburn, will you stop being insulting and face the facts? That woman is a common thief, a scavenger.
Mrs. Drysdale, I have apprehended the kleptomaniac. Ellie's chimp.
Are you sure?
Caught her red-handed. She was going to the hedge with another redwood plank and this dahlia bed marker.
Good work, Margaret. You confused Granny with his monkey. Now, are you going to apologize?
Yes. I'm sorry, dear.
Funny. Now you get over there and tell Granny you're sorry.
I shall never humble myself before that vicious little harpy. Never.
I ought to put her across my knee and... What's this silly thing?
It's a marker for one of the 4 dahlia beds.
Daddy?
Yes, she's naming that particular variety after her father.
Oh, yes.
Now, wait a minute. I've got an idea that just might appease Granny. She loves flowers.
Margaret!
Out of my way. I'm going to salt her hide and nail it to the barn door.
Oh, Granny. Join me in a chorus, Love Lifted Me.
No more songs, no more hymns. I raised my voice and she lowered the boom. I walked beside the still waters and she thrown me in.
That poor city woman don't know nothing about feuding.
She's about to get some on-the-job training.
Leastways, it won't be no sneak attack. I warned him.
In there, but trenches ain't gonna save you. I'm gonna count to 3 and then open fire. 1, 2, 3. That goes for the plank. This one here is for the shovel. Let go. Let go of my gun.
Well, you're doing better, Granny. This time you come back dry.
Ellie, fetch my jug.
How's your feud coming with Miss Drysdale?
Jed, she run in a hired killer on me.
Hired killer?
I tell you, Jed, he's a giant. A Goliath. He stands 9 or 10 foot tall and has the strength of 40 mules. He grabbed my shotgun and bent it double.
You don't need no more of that.
I ain't touched a drop. Ellie, fetch Jethro and the rest of the guns. I need help.
Now, hold on. You told us to stay out of that. You said this was tricks you and Miss Drysdale.
That was before she run that Philistine in on me. I tell you, Jed, he's a Goliath.
I'll fetch my slingshot.
Even my shotgun didn't stop him. I tell you, Jed, he's so big that he can't walk through that door.
Well, then stay in the house. You got nothing to worry about.
How's the feud going, Granny?
Jethro, I need you. Fetch your gun and come with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Never mind the gun, boy.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Granny. I'd rather fight that upstairs maid hand-to-hand.
Martin, you got some eating to do.
Well, hot dog. There's one thing I like better than fighting. It's eating.
You may have to do a little of both.
Huh? Well, where are we going?
This here is parlor eating, boy.
Don't leave me here to fight that giant alone.
It's all right, Granny. Here's my slingshot.
Ellie, I'm a scrapper, but I ain't no David. That goomer is a good 12 foot tall.
Show him to me.
Oh, no, Ellie. I wouldn't go near him alone without the whole clan around me. And Jeb Stewart's cavalry.
Granny, you gonna spill, Violet?
Yeah, honey. You pour it for me. I don't want it to eat through the table. Thank you.
I don't blame you for trembling, Granny. Fellow 12 foot tall would scare anybody.
Well, maybe he ain't 12 foot. But he'll go 8 or better.
Well, that's still big enough to scare you.
Or maybe 8 is stretching it a mite. But he's a good 6 feet and strong as an ox.
Well, Granny, where you going?
I'll learn that little runt to bend my guns.
Children, please. I can't name Daddy's Dahlia after Granny.
You can and you will. And the other 3 varieties will be named for the rest of the Clampetts.
No, no.
Yes, yes. Either that or Mr. Ted and his bulbs go back to the hothouse.
It will be a fine gesture, Mrs. Drysdale, one that will ensure peace in our time.
Oh, hired hand gonna scare me. Turn that side poke every way but loose. I'll hit him so hard it'll take him 3 days to walk back. He's digging graves. 4 of them.
How's it going, Mr. Ted?
Ah, Mrs. Drysdale, I'm all ready to put them in. Are those the markers?
Yes.
Ah, good. And what are the names?
Jed, Jethro, Ellie, and Granny.
Oh, yes, Granny. Is she the little old lady who shot at me?
Yes. We'll put her right here.
Would you like to help plant them?
May I?
Of course. But remember, they must be buried with the eyes up. Sure you want to do this, Mrs. Drysdale?
I'm afraid it's the only way to end the feud.
No, it ain't. Please, don't do it. Not to sweet little innocent Ellie Mae and Jethro. Nor Jed neither. He ain't to blame. He tried to talk me out of it, but I wouldn't listen to him. I'm to blame. Take me and spare the others. Throw the dirt on me. Ready to pay for my sins. One last request. Plant me a mite deeper. I don't want the chickens scratching me up.
What's going on out here?
It's all right, Mr. Drysdale. I'm crossing over Jordan with a song on my lips. I got a joy, 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 joy.
Get her out of there, yes.
I'm willing to go, Mr. Drysdale, if you just fill in them other graves.
Hey!
Those are flower beds.
Oh, Mrs. Drysdale and Mr. Ted are going to plant dahlias here.
You wouldn't josh a poor old corpse, would you?
Oh, Granny, don't be ridiculous.
Granny, you all right?
Hey, did you whip the Drysdale?
And big old gold
I done better than whoop 'em. I showed 'em the light. Put their feet on the path of peace. They has done beat their swords into plowshares and planting flowers in my honor. Come in, you peace-loving dahlia diggers, and come in and see them.